Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I'm here with the 20th update of our ETF portfolio. And as you can see, we added with the buys that we did this month 91.65 Swiss francs in dividends that we receive per year. And our portfolio worth is now 64,869.57 Swiss francs. And today it is the 27th of June. And as always, my wage got paid 2 days ago and my wife's wage as well. So we were able to put 900 Swiss francs towards our ETF portfolio. And as always, I'm going to talk about the dividends that we received for June 2025. And they played a really important role because I wasn't only able to buy LDG and GLDV, but because the FLXD and LDG paid out a dividend in euros, the total amount in euros on our Swiss quote account amounted to more than 500 euros. So we could also invest in FLXD this month. What I'm going to buy in July, it's going to be once again FLXD, and that's going to be with the euros that we receive from SDGPEX in July, and also XYLF. That's what I'm going to buy with the 900 Swiss francs that we are going to put into our ETF portfolio. The value of our ETF portfolio I'm going to go over next, then the predicted future yearly dividends. The dividends to receive in July, and already said SDGPEX is the one that is going to pay out, and XYLF of course, because that's the monthly paying dividend ETF that we have. And then I'm going to close off the video with the overview of the past month. And as always, our income ETF XYLF from Global X for the S&P 500 paid out 0.14631 US dollar per share. So with our 125 shares, this amounted to $18.29. And with this conversion rate, it amounted to 15.04 Swiss francs. But you know, we always keep our US dollars because we want to invest our US dollars towards the EMHD, the emerging market ETF that we want to build up with the dividends that we receive in dollars. And next up, it's EMHD. It paid out the second time dividend to us, and for the 21 shares, we received $9.08 in total. So that those dollars are also going to go towards EMHD around the end of this year. And the reference currency in Swiss francs with this conversion rate, and you see it's going down, and it even went further down this month. So the dollar is really weak right now. Now it's 0.80 on the dot. Actually a little bit lower, it's 0.7998, but I rounded it up to 0.80, and this gave us 7.42 Swiss francs. And then our euro paying dividend ETFs, FLXD from Franklin, paid out 0.7046 euros per share, so we received 116 euros.96. And LDEG, our other European ETF from LNG, that paid out 0.3807 euros per share, and this gave us an amount of 122.20 euros. As I said, with the euros that we received and the euros that we already had on our Swiss quote account from the SDGPEX dividend from April, we were able to buy more or less 500 euros worth of FLXD. So we bought 15 pieces at a price of 31.75 euros. Then we also bought LDEG for a price of 13.106. So the quantity was 38 pieces So we bought just a bit over 500 Swiss francs worth of LDG. And of course, GLDV, the Spider S&P Global Dividend Aristocrats ETF, that one we added 17 pieces at a price of 28.20 Swiss francs, and this amounted to 485.95. And you may notice that the amount of LDG and GLDV is also higher than 900 Swiss francs, and that's because we own two other stocks on our Swiss quote account, and one of those stocks is Swatch. I haven't mentioned it before that we have Swatch, but we have Swatch as one of our two stocks on our Swiss quote account, and they also paid out a dividend this month. It's much lower than the previous year, but it was around 100 Swiss francs. And of course, we also received the watch, the shareholder watch from Swatch. It's a watch for my wife. She's really happy with it, and yeah, every year it's a thing to look out for. And maybe you're wondering, hey, why didn't you buy on the U portfolio the UHRN ticker then? Well, because on the U portfolio, on the U app, you can't register your shares, so it doesn't matter which one you buy. Either the UHR or the UHRN. Yeah, you can't register them anyway, so when you don't have the N stock on the U app, it doesn't matter. But on our Swiss quote account, we have the UHRN ticker, and when you register your shares there and you vote on the shareholder meeting, then you receive a watch. And this is our current value of our ETF portfolio, our overview of our ETF portfolio. So SDGPEX, it's already a long while since I bought SDGPEX. So 1,406 pieces still, with a worth of 40,474.83 Swiss francs, so above 40,000 once again. And the price went up a little bit, and also the euro moved up a small bit with 0.5 cents. It's not a lot, but if you look at the dollar, that's another story, of course. That one is dropping like crazy. So that you can see with the EMHD, or emerging market ETF, that one, the value went up, so it's in the green compared to last month, and it also paid out the dividend. So it's in fact a lot up this month, so I'm really happy about that. But because the US dollar dropped so much, it's still in the red. XYLF, that one dropped just a little bit, and yeah, it also paid out a dividend. So with the dividend, it was actually slightly in the green. But yeah, total value for this month lower than last month. FLXD, LDG, and GLDV, they are both in dark green because we added extra shares to those ETFs. So GLDV, it is in the green, and in total also in the green. VHYL moved up a little bit, so also in the green this month. LDG, it's with the dividend added to it, it's more or less the same price as it was last month, so that's relatively okay. But FLXD, even with the dividend added to the 31.665 euros, it's still well in the red. So luckily there that we added extra shares, because otherwise it would be big time in the red. But in total now we had last month we had a value of 62,975.58 Swiss francs, and with the addition of the buys that we did of FLXD, LDG, and GLDV, our total worth right now is 64,869.57 Swiss francs. So that's plus 1,893.99 Swiss francs. But of course, we added 4 buys, the 3 buys with 1,422.74 Swiss francs. That was the total cost of the buys without the extra cost added. So we had a positive result of 471.25 Swiss francs, and this is 0.75%. The max was 63,477.55, and that was in March. And since then we invested 3,235.55 Swiss francs, but we also received 328.68 Swiss francs in dividend. So we are still way off the 66,384.42 Swiss francs if we had the valuations from March. But I'm not complaining at all. It's more or less 1,500 Swiss francs that we are missing, but we are going to make up for it because time in the market always beats timing the market. And don't forget, we also received 4 dividends. So if you look at that, you see that the dividends from XYLF, they brought us 15.04 Swiss francs. EMHD brought us 7.42 Swiss francs. FLXD 110.02 Swiss francs, and LDG 114.97 Swiss francs. So the 471.25 Swiss francs becomes 718.70 Swiss francs, and this means a plus of 1.14% in the past month, and that's not too bad at all. The total dollar amount on our Swiss quote account is now $199.13, and the total euro amount on our Swiss quote account is now 40.69 euros, and that's because we invested into FLXD, and that one costed us 482.95 euros. The other amounts you can see here, and that was the previous amount that we had on our account. Then we can go over to the predicted future dividends for our ETF portfolio, and as you can see, we have 2 ETFs that are in the red for total CIHF that we receive now in dividends. So VHYL, because the dollar, isn't that strong anymore and went down to 0.80. Now it's 172.36 Swiss francs that we can expect from VHYL every year. And EMHD, it's 23.88 Swiss francs per year that we can expect. All the other ones, they went up. So SDGPEX, because the euro got a little bit stronger, the total CHF of SDGPEX is in the green. GLDV, LDG, and FLXD, because we added extra pieces to those ETFs, they are big time in the green. Although even GLDV, the dollar dropped, but it's still well in the green. And then XYLF, the exception, because the dividend being paid out this month was a lot higher than the previous year, so in the same month, the total trailing 12 months dividend that we received from XYLF went up a lot, so with more than $5 cents. And this means that the total Swiss francs that we can expect from XYLF is a little bit bigger than what we had calculated last month. If we can then go and see to the yearly dividend that we can expect from all our ETFs, that's 2,954.65 Swiss francs. So we are getting closer to the 3,000 marker, and the monthly dividend being paid out is 246.22. And as you know, 3,000 divided by 12 is 250, so we are also getting closer to 250 Swiss francs per month in average monthly dividend being paid out. The dividends for July, as always, first off, we have XYLF, and once again, against the previous year in July, where we received 9 cents and $2,711. There we are going to receive 0.14 $2,691. So that's way better than last year. It's again around 5 cents better than last year. So once again, XYLF is really performing the way we want because it's an income ETF, and then this is the amount that we want to see coming from XYLF every month. Then we have the other one that we are going to receive in July, and that's SDGPEX. So it's going to go ex-date on the 15th of July, and the record date and the payable date, it's an exception, SDGPEX, but that's already years that it does it like that. So on the day that it goes ex-dividend, it also pays out the dividend, and there it is 0.575119 euros that we can expect, and that is slightly lower than last year. It's so 0.16 cents lower than what we received last year in the same quarter of SDGPX. So we invested 1,442.16 Swiss francs with the cost this month, and we also invested 200 Swiss francs into my U portfolio, and that's going to be my next video. I can already tell you that I bought Volkswagen, and yeah, it was a bad buy until 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, just before the end of the markets. Suddenly the car industry shot up and it ended the week in the green, so I'm really happy about that. And the future yield dividend now is 2,954.65 Swiss francs per year, so up 91.65 Swiss francs, which is a really nice amount. I'm getting closer and closer to 100 Swiss francs per month up with the buys. Normally next month I'm going to get really close, I think, but let's see about that with XYLF and FLXD that we are going to buy. And we are also getting closer to the 250 Swiss francs per month marker. The past month we are up 718.70 Swiss francs, so up 1.14%. We are still way off from the previous high, so 1,514.85 Swiss francs to be precise. But as always, that's not important. It's the time in the market and also the focus on our dividends that's important. So with the total portfolio worth right now 64,869.57 Swiss francs, we have a dividend yield of 4.55%, so still way above the 4% that we need for my rule of 300, and the yield on cost is 4.67%, and this is with the dividends also counted as cost. And as I said already plenty of times in previous videos, I think this is the most correct thing to use. The other one, yield on own invested money, that's 5.34% right now, but in fact it's not completely correct, because if you stop with reinvesting your dividends into your portfolio, then you are using your dividends, and I believe that dividends is also income, and that's why you also have to pay income tax here in Switzerland. But yeah, yield on cost 4.67%. I think that's the best way to go about it. And with that being said, I thank you for watching to this one. Please consider subscribing. I have now 319 subscribers. I have every week I have about 980,020 viewers. So this means that about 70% of you watching isn't subscribed yet. So please hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel enormously and it motivates me as well. Hit that like button as well. That also helps with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, thank you for watching to this one and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.